All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Nick Atkin here in an offensively hot Hong Kong today. It's reached about 38 degrees or something silly. I'm just chilling in my aircon now back at home, but I was sweating buckets today. I'm here for another edition of the Post Fight Podcast with my man JHK, Korean John in South Korea, and we will be reunited, John, in Bangkok next week for one Fight Night 11. I'm so excited. How excited are you, and how are you doing?
I'm very, very excited to be in Bangkok again. Of course, Bangkok, one of the best cities in the world, and incredible fights, dude. Not even just the title fights, but there's some matchups that are very, very interesting to me. Contender matchups as well. We'll get into it, but there's some interesting ones. I think we're gonna go into a little bit.
Yeah, well, we kind of did the preview for this event, a week or two ago, or even longer than that, I think, when they first announced some of these fights. So don't want to rehash that preview, and we'll obviously be there on the ground doing a proper preview, I think. We'll be coming to you live next Wednesday with a full-on preview from Bangkok, from the Wonder, the best Western Wonder Grand Hotel where we're staying, with all the fighters, so we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about. So I think today we're going to talk about some new fights that have announced a little bit further along the horizon, John, down in, what do you want to say, down the road. You can see it now. You can see it clearly coming towards us like a car with the headlights on. One Fight Night 12 in July, Bangkok. A couple of big fights announced for that, including, I want to say, Garry Tonon and Shamil Gasanov, which will be, yes, One Fight Night 12, July 15th, in what potentially could be a featherweight MMA title eliminator. Well, we'll get into it all. There's other stuff as well. Roman Kryklia is back on the same show. He's going to be headlining, looks like, because that show took a couple of hits with Tankai and Tanley. That fight is off. Arjan Buller and Anatoly Malikin was moved, obviously, to June 23. So a little bit of reshuffling going on there. Other stuff as well to talk about. Superlek is back. He's going to be doing some Muay Thai, did you say, John?
Yes, sir. And
Yes, sir.
an incredible card that they're formulating right now for One Friday Fights 22 on June 23rd. June 23rd is going to be a big night, it looks like, right, for One Championship.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that. So, yeah, plenty to come. But let us know how you're feeling, everyone in the chat. If you've got any questions, we could do with your help today because there's not much news to talk about. So please, we can get questions in easily today. First one here, why don't we start with that? Oh, well, first of all, we'll just go to John KL saying, how's the recovery, John? Hope it's going well. You obviously had your burns, your first, what was it, second-degree burn issue with some ice packs on your legs.
Yeah, some idiotic moves on my part, but yeah, the leg's still wrapped up. Gonna go to the hospital tomorrow, and then one more time before I take off to Bangkok. But by then, it should be good enough to, for me to move around and be normal again. Because it's been like a month, and it sucks, man. It sucks because it's on my leg. If it was on my arm, it'd probably be a different story. But your leg, you can't really. I haven't been able to like work out or nothing for a while because the doctor was like, you gotta keep off your feet. So I listened to the doc, man, and he's coming through. So we'll see.
Well, we hope you're getting better soon, and hopefully you can be a bit more active next week. It's going to be a lot of work going on, but hopefully some good times as well. Want to check out Bangkok with you. Will you be mobile, or will I be pushing you in a wheelchair, something like that?
Well, if you want to push me in a wheelchair, then I'm down for that. Like I'm ready for a wheelchair treatment. But no, I'll be good. I'll be good to move around. Back to normal. Hopefully, I'll be at least be able to go on a treadmill or something. By that time. But yeah, we'll be good. No problem.
That's good. Yeah, I've had three Bangkok Prime Video shows this year. Been there by myself each time. Well, my girlfriend's been there, but in terms of having you or Tom there, so it's gonna be fun to have you alongside with me. It's gonna help ease the workload, but also I can't wait to show you some of the places I've been to in Nonthaburi, which is the weird place we'll be staying in. Have you been there, John? It's not really in Bangkok. It's sort of just outside the city. But are you looking forward to seeing some of these bits?
Yeah, I've been to Lumpini. It's just I don't know the area around there.
Okay,
I just went to Lumpini for I think for one of the Fairtex fights, and then
Fair text here. Got a shirt.
Fairtex. That's right. Because before the Lumpini shows, they had the Fairtex. Actually, I still think they do have the Fairtex fights right now on Saturdays, but I went there that one time, and I'm looking forward to going back and kind of like exploring that area of the city because I've never been there, and I've been there. When you've been somewhere, but you never really have been there to like experience what's it like. You just went there for a second and then you left.
Yes.
So I'm planning, to take advantage of the few days over there.
Yeah, that'd be good. Also, I forgot to mention to you, I've been told that I'm not sure it's completely certain, but we might be able to also interview a very special man. Tyson Fury is going to be in Bangkok, it looks like, next week.
Wow.
We're lining something up to potentially interview him. That'd be fun, huh? So I don't want to promise it, but I'm not saying Tyson Fury is coming on the podcast next week, but yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Oh.
Anyway, how about this? We'll kick off with the silent assassin. Drop the first question. So we could start with Kryklia. Why not? Who's Kryklia going to fight next? Well, let me bring this up on screen. I didn't actually know this happened, John. Like 10 minutes before we go live, I'm scrambling around. I'm asking you on WhatsApp, like, oh God, what fight can I put on the graphic? They only got Tonon and Gasanov, and you're like, what about Kryklia? I said, what about Kryklia? It's like, yeah, he's coming back. You gave me the link. John Morgan, my good buddy, who I had some mild drinking sessions with, I'll say, in Denver. Very nice man. It was an honor to meet him and pick his brains. He's so knowledgeable, obviously. He has written this for Sports Illustrated. So he's coming from John Morgan, who's with MMA Underground. I'm just popping it on the screen here. There you go. One Fight Night 12. Headliner set with world champion kickboxer Roman Kryklia facing Francesco Zaja. I hope I pronounced Zaja right. I don't think I did. But anyway, the picture is not coming up, but I think that's my internet anyway. I'll just read it out quickly. It's not a very long article. Roman Kryklia will put his one championship light heavyweight title on the line in the main event of One Fight Night 12. After recently claiming victory in the promotion's heavyweight Grand Prix, Kryklia now returns to light heavyweight to defend his belt against challenger Francesco Zaja at the legendary Lumpini Boxing Stadium in Bangkok. Yes, Sports Illustrated confirmed the booking with promotion officials, and this will be the main event of the card. Yes, on Prime Video. There you go, John. I think they kind of reached into the magic bag, didn't they? Yeah. Pulled something out, a little rabbit, because they needed a main event. They needed a title fight. And we were talking about this last time, weren't we? But are you satisfied with this as a main event for the card? Do you think it is Prime Video worthy? Roman Kryklia. He's always I love the guy. We have some good chats. But what do you think?
Well, with Nongo recently, taking that L, that KO loss, you know how highly I think of Nongo and his status as probably the best fighter we've ever seen in Super Series history. Kryklia, he's up there, man. He's one of the guys, like him and Ursel, right? Like look at the track record of Kryklia's run in one championship. It has been pretty incredible. I mean, he's had 5 fights with 4 knockouts. You know what I mean? Like, and he's knocked out some legit names, and some of them are and most of them are in the first and second round. You know what I mean? It's just I love watching him fight. He's an incredible talent, but he just doesn't have that name recognition, right? He doesn't really stick out that much unless you're watching, Super Series very closely. So for him to be a main event, a headliner, I think they could do better. And I heard some rumors, you know what I mean? I heard some rumors like they were gonna put together a certain fight for this card, but I guess they're having a hard time doing it. Or maybe they're just putting this as a placeholder for that fight that we're thinking is gonna be lined up.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, John. I've heard some rumors too, and I think it would be a much more natural main event. You would promote that more than this fight. I think it may still come, that announcement. Who knows? Maybe you and I will do some digging, see if we can get that one confirmed and break that news. But yeah, I think this might be a placeholder. I wouldn't really go with this if you're looking to do a Prime Video card. I think we had that issue with that Nongo Jonathan Haggerty card, didn't we? Where we were worried that if that fight falls off, that card was not deep enough. The one in April just before Denver, but fight didn't fall off, and it was a fantastic fight. Two big names everyone wanted to see, so it all worked out well. This one though, yeah, I'd need to see the full undercard beneath it. But if you're going with this as your main event, and this falls off, yeah, you could be in trouble, John. I'm not sure how many other fights we've had confirmed for this, but I've seen a few, and it's not completely bare. But I would think you want another title fight. I think definitely this is fine for me as a co-main. And Kryklia he brings the fire every time. He's got a highlight reel going in one championship. But I do think yes, we could do with another fight. But there's a couple of questions here about the fight, so I'll just bring them up. Kryklia, yeah. What about Kryklia against Tyson Fury? Jackson Muay Thai was suggesting that going to be in Bangkok.
We could
maybe Fury's going to get in the ring, John, and stare down Kryklia, and then he's going to get a mic and say, "Francis Ngannou, you thought I wanted to box? I want to kickbox," and then we'll see. Or it could be a warm up for that Ngannou fight, huh?
I don't know. Like, so Tyson Fury is going to be in Bangkok next week. Is that what you're saying?
This is what I've been told.
Okay.
And I was a bit shocked.
Yeah, because he's doing some kind of like hotel appearance or something in Phuket, from what I heard.
He's going to Phuket as well. Yeah.
So he'll be cage side, maybe sitting there.
Well, if one is smart, they will try and arrange something like that.
Oh, for sure. And then you get your chance to speak with the man, and there's a lot to speak with him about. You know what I mean? Who knows? Kickboxing. I think if he was gonna do something that was like in that, because I'm pretty sure he's not gonna do MMA, right? So kickboxing is probably the next best thing for him. But yeah, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we go face to face with Tyson Fury. But Roman, man, he's underappreciated. You know what I mean? And it sucks to say that, in this open space, that that he doesn't deserve the headlining spot, or him fighting in the headliner, it's not justified for a prime card. But it's just the reality, man. It's not really known, to a large part of the world, especially the US market. I mean, how, Rodtang, it seemed like he's known, but like, who else though? You know what I mean? Like Roman, I don't think they have any idea who he is. Do you think they have an idea who Roman is in North America?
Absolutely not. But that's not to his discredit. It's just the way it is. So yeah, you don't want to come off what they had in Denver. Such a hot card, huge crowd. You don't want to serve up something. Well, I guess that's next week card, but you want to keep the momentum going. I always say this after one championship's big events they've had, the Tokyo shows, New Era and Century, and then 1X. They followed them up, in my opinion, quite poorly, just with some throwaway shows that weren't too memorable. They were fun, but they didn't have any huge names on them, and the momentum kind of dropped off a little bit, especially after 1X last year. We had, that was in March, then you had April, May, June, July. I think there wasn't even a card in August, but all the four after it were all behind closed doors at the same arena that just had a bunch of fans in it for 1X. So definitely dropped the ball a bit there. So I hope we're going to have a couple of, or three really good shows now in Bangkok, coming off Fight Night 10 in Denver. So I would hope, we can maybe get that fight that we're thinking about on in July. But anyway, Roman Kryklia is a beast, says LC. Ooh, here's Martin Nguyen. Is this real Martin? I don't know. We get some people dropping in saying hi with, we never know if they're real fights or not. I don't know if there's a way you can prove it. If it is you, Martin, good to see you. Even the silent assassin here isn't too sure. He's asking if it's real Martin. I don't know. Does Martin have a YouTube channel, John? Have you seen it?
I
Sorry.
don't know. I don't think he does. Maybe he does. We just don't. He's not really active on it. But if it is Martin, shout out to Martin. You know, one of the best guys out there. Solid dude. You know, if it's you, when we're gonna see you again? Oh, it is Martin. It is Martin. When we're gonna see you, Martin? When we're gonna, you know, the division. You know, the division. They need you to fight somebody. You know, in that top 5. Let's. You know, anything in the works, let us know, man. And appreciate you for the concern on my leg. Yeah, the leg is jacked.
Jacked. Well, I guess the graphic of the show maybe enticed Martin in. 2 guys in his division in that top 5.
Right.
Shamil Gasanov, who I think Martin was gonna fight originally in, when was it? February he came there, yeah. And then he ended up fighting Leonardo Cassotti after his other opponent dropped out. So Gasanov against Tonon, yeah, maybe Martin is keeping his eye on that one. But what do you think, John? Maybe that's a good segue into that fight. Is this a title eliminator? Because we don't know now what's going to go on with Tanlei and Tan Kai and Tanlei. So we don't know. This division's up in limbo again. We don't know if they'll rebook that title fight. This one could be a title eliminator. Maybe Martin can slide in against someone else. What are you thinking? How would you book it if you're the matchmakers in one?
Man, we need more information on Tan Kai and his status with the injury, right? Like do you know what exactly the injury was?
Let me check. Someone messaged me with it.
He was speaking in Chinese, right, in the video. So
yeah,
I had no idea what he was
have
talking
any.
About. It's yeah, so we don't know the status of like his injury, like how long he will be out for. Maybe he'll be out for a month, maybe he'll be out for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, who knows, right? We don't know yet. But if he is out, then you got to move on with the division, right? And I think this is a great matchup. You know, you got Ilya fighting Ilya's fighting when? Next week, right? Ilya's fighting next week.
We'll see Ilya.
Yeah, Ilya's ranked number 3. He's fighting next week. So he's fighting next week. And if he wins, but he's fighting like an unranked dude. So that's kind of a weird matchup right there. But you know, if he wins, he's in a good position, right, to fight somebody. And then you got Garry Tonon and Shamil fighting each other, and then Martin sitting at number 4. So I guess Martin has to kind of wait a little bit to see how it shakes out. But is it a title eliminator? It all depends on Tan Kai, what his status is. Because if he can't fight, they got to move on with the division, right? They got to move on and maybe make a. I don't know how long he's been out for, but if he's going to be out for too long, they make an interim title, man, and Ton Lee fight somebody. Maybe the winner of Shamil and Tonon. But you know, if Tonon wins, then that would be kind of weird. Ilya would be a great fight. I think Ilya, if he beats what is it? Zoltzek. If he beats him next week, then you put him against Ton Lee for the title. I think that could happen. Martin has responded, and he's saying that just going through negotiations at the moment, but I have a family holiday coming up that my wife doesn't want me injured for. But I'm hoping October versus the winner of these grapplers. Wow. All right. That makes sense. I can see that happen as well. You know what I mean? If Ilya wins next week, they push him to fight for somebody higher in the rankings. And then, you know, whoever wins between Tonon and Shamil fights Martin. That plays out really well, right? Don't you think?
That sounds good. I just saw that, yeah, it is a knee injury for Tan Kai. So that could be a long one, yeah.
Yeah. That could be that could be like a year. You never know with knee injuries, right? It could be 6 months. It could be 9 months. It could be a year. It could be a year and a half. We don't know, right? We need to get, I need to reach out to somebody. Who is Tan Kai's manager? Do you know who Tan Kai's manager is?
I do not know who Tan Kai's manager is.
I got to figure that out. I'll investigate a little bit starting tomorrow. And see if I could get any information. The fight that we thought was going to happen on July 15th, that probably might happen still. I reached out to the people that I know behind the scenes, and they just never responded. back to me. So, and they always respond back to me, but they just never responded back to me for this question. So maybe there's some truth behind it, right? No comment. Who knows? But Martin, man, will, yeah, you don't want to be injured during your holiday, family holiday. You don't want to see, I've had fighters go on holidays. Fighters told me they'd go on holidays like in a wheelchair because they just fought, and then they went on their family holiday and they're running, on those electric wheelchairs because their legs are so beat up from fighting. So yeah, I see what Martin is saying. You don't want to be injured for family.
Yeah,
time.
I guess the school season is finishing up or whatever, so summer holidays. But have you seen Martin put a picture of his kid on Instagram? I think it was looking completely jacked.
Exactly.
It's another shameful moment in my life. A 14-year-old in better shape than I ever will be. So
I had to comment on it. It's like when your idols become your rivals, Like, Martin, you better watch out for your kid, man. He's all swole.
I have to point out Damien R is casting doubt on whether it is Martin. Says it doesn't have a YouTube account. Ignore that user. So we're gonna take it with a pinch of salt if you want. I don't know.
But he subscribed to the channel.
Yes.
So it could be Martin. You know what I mean? It could be Martin. Either way, I'll be back. He's responding like a logical person, right? Isn't he? Either way,
I guess I could text him and see if it's him.
Oh, for sure.
I might if I still have his number actually.
You could text him and see if he wants.
If it is Martin, it's great to see you there, and we'd love to even get you on the show if you want to come in sometime. If you even want to jump on now, do it.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Martin back ASAP. One of my favorite fighters, one of your favorite fighters, I'm sure, John.
Oh, for sure, man. Martin is my guy, man. Like I've known Martin for a long time, for a long part of his career with one championship. So great dude. Let me see.
We'll see. Anonymous thinks it's an AI. Who knows? The Chat GPT, is it? All this stuff is confusing to me. But
if it's Martin, I just messaged him. If it's him, then he's going to respond to my message on Instagram. But if it's not, then he probably doesn't respond to that.
We'll see.
Either way.
We'll see.
Either way. But yeah, going back to Tonon, and it is Martin.
It is.
It is okay. Martin. It is Martin. So shout out to Martin.
Shoot Martin the link. See if he wants to jump in.
Let me message him.
If not, Martin, we'd love to have you any other week if you want to come and do the show. You don't have to do the whole show, but yeah, it'd be cool to have you on. Sometimes we get fighters in for 20 minutes, something like that. So I think we're going to have Liam Harrison next.
I'm going to ask him if he wants to hop on for a couple minutes, nothing too long. Ask him some questions.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Get his thoughts on this matchup, we were talking about.
Until he responds, let's talk about Garry Tonon and how he looked in his last fight. You know what I mean? Like Garry Tonon, how did you think he looked in his last fight? We were expecting an announcement from him. And
I was there. Yeah, I was there in Bangkok. Garry Tonon against Johnny Nunes. It was very impressive performance. Yeah, he dealt with it. I think it was less than 2 minutes. It was his first round submission. An excellent performance from Garry. I would have liked to have seen him maybe try someone else in the top 5, but I think he just wanted a tune-up or a warm-up, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he was sufficiently warm. So now he's coming for Gasanov, who, I think is a major threat in this division from what we saw of him on his debut against Kim Jae-young. So yeah, Gasanov, for me, definitely in the mix for a title shot if he wins this fight, because Garry number 2, Gasanov number 5. Maybe you do that interim, like you said, Tanley and Gasanov. If Gasanov wins, whoever wins, do I want to see Tonon against Tanley again? I'm not sure, because that was very, very one-sided. But I did speak to Garry in Bangkok and say, do you think that fight could go differently? And he said, of course I do. He laid out how he would do it differently and what went wrong. So I know fighters are always going to say that if you ask them, but Who knows? Do you think Garry Tonon could do anything different? Well, why don't we hold that? Because
Yeah, why don't we ask the professional
it
about
was
this?
Martin. Here he is. What's going on, Martin? Good to
What's
see you.
up, guys? How are you? I was like,
Very
Oh,
good.
bed, but I was watching it. I was kind of interested, so let's go.
Yeah,
sorry to doubt that it was really you. Because we have some people coming by sometimes, and they say they're. We once had Jan Blachowicz, I think. Or, I don't think it was really him, but
Oh man, you guys are legit, man. You should hope that it's them.
you're looking comfy. What is this? Where are you?
I'm in my wife's Udi. I was freaking freezing here in Australia.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. So
Can we swap? It's so hot in Hong Kong. I'd love to get some freezing weather. It's boiling hot, man.
Dude, it's like bone chilling freezing, man. I can't handle it. I need to go back to Florida.
Martin, what have you heard about Tan Kai? You know, I mean, he's injured. The title fight is off. Like, have you heard anything like behind the scenes about like how long it's gonna take?
Not necessarily, man. I was kind of bummed out. Even though like I do hope Tunley gets that rematch with him, but in a way it doesn't make sense. But it doesn't make sense because the division doesn't make sense at the moment. You know, you got people fighting each other and people booked, and the only one that wasn't booked at the time was Tunley. So it kind of made sense to keep the champion busy is to make that rematch because it was such a close fight. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything from Tan Kai's camp. Not that I really care. I'm pretty sure if it keeps going on, the division has to move on, and they'll probably do like a Tan Lee versus, one of the next guys as a title eliminator or interim title.
Yeah, you're the only one that's not booked in the top 5. You know, and I guess you just gotta, like you said, go on vacation and let it shake out a little bit.
No. This vacation was booked roughly about 2 years ago because of the COVID, you know, and I had totally forgot. Otherwise, I would have fought like now in June, July. I was hoping to fight June, July, and then I told my wife, and she's like, "We're going away." And me, knowing me for a fact, because I always put my heart on the line every fight, I always come back with niggling injuries or injuries where I'm in a cast for 6 weeks, or you know my leg banged up, I can't walk for 3 to 4 weeks. So she doesn't want that happening on the holiday. She wants. I'm not even allowed to train, which I am still going to be training, but no fight camp stuff. So I'm just going to enjoy life, man. I'm not in any financial burden to keep pushing fights. I mean, the division can work off my time. If they want to fight me, then they're going to wait for me to be ready, and when I'm ready, I'll let the One Championship know. But I'm hoping by October I'll have a fight. I'm back in fight camp at the end of July. So,
all right. And you're saying that you're going through negotiations. So right now you're just kind of up in the air.
Yeah. I was officially on my last. I thought my last fight was my last fight, but because time was up, but it was extended because of that whole mix-up with Kim Jae-woong. I don't really care. I'm with the company to the end, so. Just going through some talks at the moment with the big man and going from there.
Yeah, Ong is he's also in talks as well, man. It's kind of a trip that
He's out completely.
He's out. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But he wants to stay like you. You know what I mean?
Of course,
you guys
yeah,
have been with the company for so long. You guys are like, the founding fathers in some ways, right? You would all.
Put some respect on our names. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're always grateful. We talk daily, weekly, monthly, every day. We catch up, and yeah, it's just a matter of, I think, just obviously meeting in the middle, meeting each other's needs, and we've been with the company, and I'm sure our loyalty rides out. It's coming on to like almost 10 years for both of us. So. It's been a long journey, but we still have a lot of work to do.
What do you think
what was that contract? Sorry, just because I remember I spoke to Ong in Denver, and he said the time expired on April 31st or whatever, 30th, but it was May 5th when he fought. So he
signed the contract before the ending, so I think he has to oblige and carry out that contract. I mean, it's not like it was an issue anyway. He wanted to fight, so yeah.
What do you think? Sorry, John, to interrupt you. Is it all right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I think Ong was a little upset. He wasn't maybe in the press conference, and he didn't get a bonus. What do you think? Did Ong La get treated a little badly there, unfairly? He got such a good reception, I thought, from the Denver crowd. If you were one championship, would you have promoted Ong La a little bit more as a star of the card, or do you think maybe because he's not signed a new deal, they may have held off promoting him?
I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but
Yeah,
when isn't Ong La a huge draw? Like he brings a huge following. Obviously, you can tell off his socials, and every time he fights, it's exciting. Whether he loses or not, it's exciting, and he brings a huge crowd. And he lives and breathes off that energy that the crowd brings, and it's always an exciting fight. Why he didn't get the bonus, I don't know. You just don't know. You just go out there just to do your job, and whether you get it or not, we get looked after very well at one championship. So we're grateful if we get it, and we're grateful if we're not getting it. So
I'm gonna say it if you don't say it. I thought it was like it was a travesty, like him not getting a bonus. You know what I mean? Like there are all these other fighters that got bonuses, but you don't give one to Ugg for his performance. That was a crazy fight.
I think his one was like one of the only finishes that didn't get a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Jackie Buntan didn't get one, but she missed weight. So
yeah. Well,
I think that's it.
Can you do?
Man, this day and age for a fighter to miss weight, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, you got all those, like, you got that video out there kind of showing you the tricks of the trade.
It's so crazy how people miss weight these days, especially when you're meant to be hydrated at that weight. But with girls, it's an exception because they might have the periods or whatever, something that plays up with their system that the boys don't get. But it's just this day and age. Yeah, I think my card was the only card that I fought under. Everyone made weight. It was like within the first 40 minutes or whatever, and weigh-ins was over.
Oh yeah, that was a quick one. I remember.
I think it's gonna get to that point though. Everybody's gonna figure it out, and we're not gonna see it as much. You'll see it once in a while because, like you said, there's circumstances. But I think people are gonna start figuring it out and be like, all right, we know what to do. Every time we go out there, it's like clockwork. Get it done.
100%.
Are you still going out there to what is it? Kill Cliff? Are you still part of that team or?
Yeah, 100%. So right now I'm still training every day, daily training, just to stay maintained on my fitness and just the skill set in general. This is my time to get better. I've been working on a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of boxing, a lot of striking in general. But I only go out to Kill Cliff to get me ready for a fight, not to learn anything. I just want to get in fight shape. So I do all my learning now. And when I go to Kill Cliff, it's a matter of sharpening up and getting fight ready.
Yeah, for sure. It's the team is incredible over there, right? Just the bodies.
That gets you. If you're not in fight shape after that one camp in that gym, then you're cheating yourself somehow. I don't know.
What is your thoughts on that Garry Tonon fight? Him and Gasanov?
Silent Assassin was asking that for your prediction. Sorry, is that all right?
No, it's all cool. I thought I was gonna be fighting Gasanov, but I understand. Obviously, a fighter's got to fight. I said because I'm not gonna fight until October. I said that's the first available date after having a strong camp. October is the date that I want to fight. Predicting everything falls out into plan. And I understand if he doesn't want to wait that long to fight me, then fighter's got to fight. So that's the next fight in line to make. I only found out about it this morning, to be honest with you.
So did we.
Yeah, Nick was the one that broke the news, basically.
No, it was.
I think you broke it
and
sent it to me, and I was just like,
oh. Cool. Well, MMA Fighting got it. I just put it on our Instagram earlier today. Yeah. So
Instagram's faster for some reason.
To answer that question, if it's going to go to the ground, I predict Garry Tonon via some type of leg lock. If it stays on the feet, which I assume it would, because usually when you put two grapplers together, it ends up being like a striking match. Then I feel Shamil has got this.
Well, there you go. Any other questions? I don't know how long you can hang around.
That was like a little bit of an awkward silence just there, man. Did I break something? Did you guys Shamil in here or something? I don't know.
Well, no, we just don't want to speak over the other guy in case John asks a question. I don't want to, because then we both say it at the same time. It's like blah 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 blah. So I was just pausing to see if John had another question for you. So, do
I
you have
always
one, John?
another question. I always have another question. You know me. That's just a natural thing. Yeah, it's just what do you think of Takaru? The Takeru, the kickboxer that they signed recently. The Japanese dude. You don't damn, you see, like some people don't know who he is. I thought everybody knew who he was, but it's probably like one of the major signings for one championship.
He's gonna fight Rod Tang in Japan, I think, in a 50,000. Yeah, he's pretty good, but yeah, kickboxing. I'm not an expert on it, so I don't want to say, but it's like Rod Tang, Takeru, and Tenshin. They're the three. They have this triangle. They're going around. They fight each other.
Tenshin. Tenshin's the one that fought Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tenshin fought Takeru. I think Tenshin won, right? Last year, it was quite a big deal. Sold out the Tokyo Dome in Japan. So,
oh wow, nice.
It could be cool. Go back to Japan. I don't think you fought there, right? You cornered Ong for Century. I remember.
That's one of my dreams, man. To go back
I remember talking to you then, and you were scheduled to fight Christian Lee, I think, on that card, and it fell through. So, would going to Tokyo, it sounds like a dream for you.
100%, man. Tokyo, America, most definitely Australia and Vietnam.
Vietnam, what's going on with Vietnam? Yeah, one going back to Vietnam.
I don't know. I don't even know about Australia as well. They have a huge market over here. I don't know why they're not coming out. They just got the recent, TV deal? It's huge as well. So it's a huge step to get into the country as well, broadcasting deal. So I don't know. Waiting for it, man. I'm not gonna retire until I fight at home.
Australia's such a big market, man, for fighting too. You know what I mean? They're crazy about it.
100%. Yo, what happened to your leg, man? What'd you do? I seen blisters, but I didn't read the order comments.
Yeah, I iced my leg for too long, and I got burns from the ice.
Oh,
and that's basically what happened.
Dude, how big are those ice cubes?
No, they're ice packs. So they were like these ice packs and like six ice packs in like one ice pack. So I just wrapped it around my leg because I took a bunch of leg kicks in sparring.
Did you put it on like raw? No, nothing in between.
Yeah, raw. That's the problem. Yeah, put it on
raw.
And by the evening, it was just like the blisters came out, and
Did you have to do any grafting at all or no?
Yeah, grafting. I had pig skin grafting. Yeah, like I guess pig skin is very close to human skin, so it helps to rejuvenate.
Oh, wow. I thought we didn't have the pig skin didn't have like the pores so they can sweat or anything like that.
I don't know, but it works. Like it's healing, and I got some stem cells as well. So you know what I mean.
Oh man,
speed it up. So
little bit of BPC and little trend will help the rest.
I need it, right? I need that. I need something.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna take whatever I need to take. You know what I mean? I'm not a fighter, so it's all good.
Yeah. I'm steady working over here for everyone that's interested in the division. It's going to be a barn burner still of a division. It's one of the most stacked divisions in one championship. So I'm still working over here, and when I get back, we're going to put the work in. I'm going to get that title back. That's the ultimate goal.
That's great, man. Hey, it's good to catch up with you, Martin, man. We haven't spoken in a while, and hopefully we'll see you.
Man, you meant to hit me up. You forgot about
You know. We missed each other, man. My bad. That's my bad.
It's all good. I appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna head to bed.
All right, man.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Appreciate seeing you, and hopefully see you back soon. Yeah, October you were saying maybe.
Of course, hopefully, fingers crossed, October, and we'll get the featherweight division going.
All right, can't wait to see you back. Thanks again, Martin Nguyen, for joining us. Cheers.
Have a good night, guys. Appreciate you.
You too. Well, that was a nice bonus appearance from Martin.
Exactly, man. Sometimes
former
you never know what's gonna happen.
Lightweight champion one.
Never know what's the original double champ.
Yeah,
the original guy that went up and fought.
He nearly was 3-weight champ as well, right?
Yeah, people
forget
that.
He was a decision away from being 3-weight champ, and he thinks he won that fight, right? Mm-hmm. So could have been bantamweight as well, but I don't think he'd ever get down to bantamweight again.
Nah.
I think he's happy at featherweight. Yeah. And a lot of new challenges for Martin there. So it's good to see he's still up for the challenge of reclaiming that belt. He just said before he came on, he's going to get it back within 12 months. So I can't wait to see Martin return. October, what a nice, pleasant surprise to see Martin back. Thanks everyone for asking questions. Sorry we didn't have him a bit longer, but we will hopefully have fighters on every week. That's the plan. Been a little bit disorganized, to be honest, since Denver. Sorry, a bit of a hangover there. Transitioning from having Tom Taylor, he's left us now. So John's coming aboard a bit more frequently, and he'll be doing the podcast with me every week. Fingers crossed, and we'll be lining up some fighters. So great to see Martin, John. Huh? Some interesting stuff there.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's always good to get a top 5 contender, a former champ on, to get their thoughts and catch up on what they're doing. So I guess we'll see him as soon as possibly August or something like that, right? Or October or something. I forgot what he said. But soon we'll see him. That's good to see. Yeah, man. The division has to move forward, like he says, and I think by the end of the year, we might have a new champion, right? I think we'll probably have a new champion in that division because that division is just so volatile, right? Anybody could beat anybody. It's going to be hard to keep that strap for a long period.
I could see the interim thing happening, and I think they'll want to keep Tenkai for whenever they go back to China, which from what I heard really is in the works. Yes, and it could even happen this year, but if I'm a betting man, which I'm not very good at gambling, but I would think it'd be next year more likely that they go to China, John. I mean, UFC still not back fully, right? They're doing the road to UFC at the PI, but not in terms of full crowd UFC yet, right?
Well, I guess they showed us that you can put on a show, but it's not an arena, right? So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of a race, isn't it? I think one championship, maybe they want to be the first ones back and put a flag back in the ground because UFC sort of usurped China, didn't they? From one championship, one was going into China, and then UFC just kind of came in, and Zhang Weili happened, and then it blew up. But then the pandemic happened and stopped both of them and their progress in China. So maybe one can get their foot back in the door a little bit if they come back first, and you bring Tenkai, could maybe sell out an arena there with that. Who knows? So they've got Zhong Jingnan as well. I'm sure they could do her against Meng Bo there. That's going to sell some tickets for sure. Could be a good show in China. Plenty of people. Maybe they even come to Macau, which would be nice for me. You can sail across the harbor on a ferry. Yes, UFC will probably do Weili and Yan Jianan in China. Well, they're doing Amanda Lemos right first, so
so she's got to win
Lemos
that
wins
first.
the belt. Yeah. Well, what other stuff did we have? I think we talked about the fights. We mentioned Superlek is back, right? So I didn't even know this. You told me Superlek will be doing some kickboxing. Sorry, some Muay Thai on June 23. I don't know his opponent, but this is all news to me. So that's good. Saw Superlek in Denver. He was staying in shape, of course. He had to make weight. Doesn't look like he skipped a day in the gym at all, unlike me and Liam Harrison enjoying the beers. Actually, Superlek had a beer. I saw him with a Heineken at the end on the post-fight party. But Nabil is going to fight Superlek. I've never heard of Nabil. Sorry, I do not watch enough Muay Thai, apparently. Has Nabil come through at Friday Fights, John? How much knowledge do you have on Nabil?
Well, from what I've read about him, he's 19 years old. He's a teenager. French Algerian, 33, 4-1 record. Training out of Venom training camp in Pattaya.
I think you mean
Thailand.
Team Mediza too. Yeah. They're not allowed
is that
to
what
say
it
Venom.
is?
They're not allowed to say Venom on the broadcast because one has beef with Venom. So,
on the article right here from the 1fc.com,
really,
it says Venom Training Center. So I guess
that's either a mistake or they've patched things up. So
hopefully,
we'll see.
Hopefully they patch things up. But yeah, like he's super tall, right? He's 6'2". He has a 7-inch height advantage over Superlek. So this is gonna be interesting, man. He's actually a WBC Muay Thai world champion, the youngest ever. It's not a walkover. That's definitely true. But I like that it's Muay Thai. I'm glad that that Superlek is fighting Muay Thai because that's his bread and butter, man. That's his world, right?
That is his world. Well, I'm happy to see it, and it maybe potentially sets up Superlek coming over, eventually fighting Rodtang, but they keep pouring a little bit of water on that one. You know, it's not what it once was. It looked like it was going to happen in January, and now both guys are sort of saying, "Oh well, we don't want to fight each other because we want us both to be champions of Thailand." So, sounds like they're either saving that fight or they're calling it off altogether. Well, yeah, any guesses for the infamous Superlek and Rodtang? I don't think it's going to happen now, John. I really don't.
No.
I think Rodtang's talking about Haggerty. He's talking about Takeru. His minds are on other things, aren't they?
Yeah, Rodtang. He's clearly told everybody that he doesn't want to fight Superlek, right? And he's given his reasoning behind that. And you got to take him for his word because I don't know, man. A lot of people talk about ducking and dodging and things like that, but I don't know. I don't think Rodtang's ducking and dodging anybody. The dude is fearless, right? He'll fight. He fought Demetrius Johnson in a mixed rules fight, and he lost, right? That's very dangerous fight to take. Rodtang, I like for him to go and fight Jonathan Haggerty. I think that's a fight that interests me. Superlek fight interests me as well, right? It's probably the most interesting fight, but it looks like it's not going to happen. And Rodtang, it seems like he has some power as well, right? He does hold some weight in the promotion, and that plays a part in who he fights. And I think that him telling everybody in interviews that he wants this fight or that fight, that's the fight that he's going to chase after, and he's probably going to get those fights because one championship in some ways would like to keep Rodtang happy, right?
Yes, but as Anonymous points out here, Rodtang hasn't fought anyone in his top 5 ranking for Muay Thai. I mean, I'm just going to check who's in that ranking because off the top of my head, I don't know. But that's a little bit bad, I think. Yes, if that's true. So here we go. Flyweight Muay Thai. Why don't I bring it up on screen? I'm loving the screen. Isn't it fun to use the screen? Bit of visual stimulation. Here you go. Athlete rankings, one championship website. I like the overhaul they've done. But there you can see it. Rodtang is the champ, of course. Superlek, number 1. Panpayak, who Rodtang was going to fight in the Grand Prix and then just did not because he was overweight. He didn't even give a sample. And then Walter Gonsalves, who lost to Superlek, I believe, in the Grand Prix. Taiki Naito and Elias Mahmoudi. So, John, isn't it a little bit strange? Yes, indeed. He's not fought anyone there.
Well, he needs to fight somebody there. If he's not gonna fight Jonathan Haggerty next, because I don't think that fight's gonna actually happen next. But if he's not gonna fight some like Jonathan Haggerty next, and if he's not gonna fight Takeru next, he should fight Pampayak, or he should fight Naito. Like let's they go back to go back anywhere like Manila or something like that. I think that's a good fight they could put on in Manila. I just don't think that Superlek fight will happen. I don't understand why they would even have him in the rankings.
Yeah, Superlek's beaten everyone in the top 5 for flyweight. He's the gatekeeper. Yeah, we saw him beat Pampayak, I think, early in the final of the Grand Prix. Wasn't an exciting fight. Both guys missed weight. Kind of sucked, to be honest. Yeah, he's beaten Walter, as I said. Beaten Taiki Naito. Yeah, so, he's kind of it's the only fight you do, I think, with Rodtang if you're doing that division. If you'd picked anyone else, it would be weird to not do Superlek. This is the thing, John. Yeah, if you're going to have rankings, it means you kind of are setting up fights, aren't you? You're saying, you can't ignore this person now. So to then turn around and say, oh, actually, we don't want to fight each other because I guess you see it elsewhere, though, right? Like Merab and Aljamain say they won't fight, and I think Merab is now got to be the number one contender in that division. Or O'Malley's going to fight Sterling next, right? But what do you think of that?
Well,
Is it just fight, right? I think, or
logically, right? If we're talking logically, that's the fight. Rodtang versus Superleg. Rodtang's he's the world champ. Superleg is number 1 in the rankings. That's the fight. That fight hasn't happened. And Rodtang hasn't fought anybody else in the top 5. And Superleg has beaten most of the top 5. So it just makes complete sense, right? That they should do that. And logically, when a champion is reigning supreme, he needs to just fight who they bring to him, right? Because you're the champion. That's what it should be. But then on the flip side, it seems like they want to use Rodtang to put together all these super fights, right? Or lead him to super fights. They don't want him to lose. And I think that's what we saw in Denver. They matched him up with that guy from Mexico because they knew that he was going to win that fight. 99% winning rate, right? Like they knew that. And it continues the mystique of Rodtang. And if he does fight Superleg, there's a high possibility that it would, halt the hype train.
indeed, it could be a risk. That is the problem. But I think Rodtang is still going to be a star if he loses fights. He's lost fights. He lost to Tenshin, right? So I don't think it's going to affect his
but that's not in one championship, though.
Yeah, but this thing of... I blame Floyd Mayweather for this, this thing where if you're not undefeated, you're some kind of broken, damaged goods. Fighters are going to lose fights. They're going to lose to each other. They're going to come back. They're going to fight again. I think Devin Haney was talking about this last week. I saw... Need to get over this mystique of, if someone loses, they're a bum or this or that, or they're finished.
Exactly,
like
right?
Everyone says on Twitter.
But I guess, that's what they want to push is this unbeatable force that Rodtang is. And that's what they want to push. If the promotion wants to push it, they're in control, right? That's what they do. But logically, we need to see Rodtang fight Superleg. But in reality, the promotion has different, ideas and ideologies, and Rodtang has his train of thought on him not wanting to fight other Thai champions. It's it's crazy, man. Like Michael Owens knows. We know Michael Owens. Michael Owens knows Rodtang and Superleg in Muay Thai. We need to see that. That's the fight that we need to see. But then on the flip side, it's a business. And, you want to keep your champions happy. And, and he's made a lot of money for one championship, right? He has a big following as well. And you want to kind of, give him one as well. You want to give him some power a little bit. But
I agree with it all.
It's a crazy situation, man, for this division.
Oh, I got to just open the door. Sorry. Hang on. I think.
All right,
no, I think we can continue. Yeah, I think it's okay. You're on your own briefly. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we like Michael Owens was saying right here. Let's put Michael Owens' comments on here. Don't get me wrong. Takaru versus either of them in kickboxing is great too, but Rodtang versus Superleg in Muay Thai has to happen. Criminal if it doesn't dream match. It is a dream match, man. I completely agree, right? To be honest with you, Takeru, like if he comes in and fights Rodtang, great. If he comes in and fights Superleg, great. But I'd rather see Takeru fight Superleg. That to me, that's a more interesting because Superleg is the kickboxing champion, right? So if he is the kickboxing champion, you come in and have him fight the kickboxing champion, not fight Rodtang. You know what I mean? If he beats the kickboxing champion, now he's the champion. Then you could line up champion versus champion.
Let's go.
Right? You could line up Takeru. If he beats Superleg, he's the kickboxing champion. Then you have him fight Rodtang, right? And then that even opens up the door for Rodtang versus Superleg because Superleg's not the champion anymore in kickboxing. But yes, I agree. Rodtang versus Superleg is the fight. Like that's the fight. I think we need to have that fight at like in December or something, like one of those year-end blowout bashes or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, just had to let the missus in. Or she actually got buzzed in by the neighbor, so it's all good. But we were only going to do an hour this time, everyone, because not much to talk about. But if you have any questions now, we could answer a couple. If you want to add anything, I thought I saw one from our boy Grant Sanders earlier, so I'll just see if I can find it again. He was asking what happened with Sami Sana and if Giorgio Petrosian is still his one. I see he's training again. I don't know anything. Sorry. I've been interested to find out what's going on with Petrosian. Sana, I'm not sure either. Did Sana sign for someone else? Was he released? I'm going to check now, but I have no idea. I guess you would know, John, or you're an expert on
we haven't
French kickboxers.
We haven't seen Sammy in a long time. Like,
yeah, he was booked for
years,
February,
right?
And something, but I'm not sure. Sorry, Grant, I don't have much of an answer there.
Petrosian's still ranked,
though, right? I think Grant's going to be in Bangkok, so say hello and anonymous, but anonymous won't say hello. Petrosian is playing the FA Cup final. Some football banter there from John KL. Any questions? Let us know. Yeah, we could do a few here. Why are there no bigger weight classes in Muay Thai? Says Silent Assassin. Well, what about this open weight Muay Thai Grand Prix, John? It's gone completely quiet, hasn't it?
What happened to that? Like, that just disappeared into a cloud of smoke, right? Just poof. You know, they were like David Blaine or Mike. What is his name? David Copperfield, right? Just gone.
Well, I saw someone comment earlier. Yeah, how about Tyson Fury versus Rod Tank? So maybe that's why Fury's in Bangkok to announce he's in the Grand Prix.
It's ridiculous. Come on, let's not even entertain those types of matchups. It's ridiculous. Like Tyson Fury versus Rod Tank. Come on, Rod Tank is what? He's like 5 foot what? 5'5". Tyson Fury's like 8'6". You know what I mean? Like, he's taller than 5'5". Yeah, you're cutting out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just saying. Hear me? Am I here?
Yeah. You got you.
Am I still there?
No, it's starting to cut out again.
Rotate. Well,
but let's look at the champs that are not even fighting right now, right? We got Angela Lee, Christian Lee not fighting, and understandably, right? We got Taiwan Chai not fighting. Chinggis was announced. Tan Kai not fighting. Jonathan Haggerty just won the belt. What is it? Pech Tanyong not fighting. Andrade Fabricio not fighting. Rod Tang hasn't been booked. Super Leg just booked for a Muay Thai fight. Demetrius Johnson just won. Joseph Lasiri's injured. Jared Brooks, what's going on with Jared Brooks? Like, is he fighting soon? You just froze on us, Nick. All right, let's see some other questions. I've got a fun question. If you could add another sport to one, what would you add? I would add boxing or taekwondo. Thing is, like, I think boxing would probably be the most logical one to add. Taekwondo is just, I'm Korean, and taekwondo's in my heart. Like, I did taekwondo for years when I was young, but it's not that entertaining. You know, I mean, it's entertaining, but it's point fighting, right? It's like not really, to me, it's like, I don't think people would be tuning in for taekwondo, to be honest. But boxing, possibly. I think if you get some good boxers in there. It's very hard, man. I think One Championship has all the martial arts that you could put together into one promotion and make it work, which is Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. If you put boxing in there, it would have been nice, but and take out, to me, the grappling is, they need to work on that. There's not really any divisions. You know what I mean? They got champions, but not much of a division for any of them. But But yeah, take out grappling and put boxing in there. Maybe that will work out. Then you could have MMA fighters box and and kickboxers box as well. But that's what it is. Well, Nick is back, but not really back. He's just frozen again, so I'm gonna have to remove him off the screen. Let's get to some other questions. Alcy says Tyson Fury has WWE money, so can't see him doing anything with one. Yeah, that's true. Samila not fighting, sort of. Well, Samila just fought last week. Yeah, like you said, sort of. Any Saldich news? Saldich is he just got knocked out, man. I don't think we're gonna see anything from him anytime soon. He needs to recover from that KO, man. If a fighter gets KO'd, you'd want them to at least take like 6 months off, like 6 months off of like any kind of like hardcore like sparring or anything like that. I think, especially the way that he was knocked out. Anonymous, boxing would be fun, much more fun than the grappling stuff. I agree with you. Damien R. Where are the Team Lakai guys? I seen some of them are in the U.S. and they were training over at Jackson Wink in Albuquerque, where they've gone before in the past, and working with Mike Winklejohn and Greg Jackson. And then I saw them working with Chris Cyborg in California at her gym. So they're making their moves, man. Yeah, they're making their moves, and it's good to see. It's good to see them going around and getting different looks and maybe finding a team somewhere. I believe one of the boys from Team Lakai is in Thailand at AKA Thailand, possibly. Maybe he's at Tiger. I'm not for sure. But yeah, they're kind of scattering around and getting a feel, and we'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully we'll try to get some of the Team Lakai boys on for an interview, or maybe for the podcast, and ask them about it. So keep tight. Silent Assassin, what about Lethway? Lethway is great. But yeah, Lethway is great, but Lethway is just kind of more of I don't know if they're gonna be able to, get headbutts. Especially if they go to America. How would they explain headbutts? There's no commission. There's no commission in North America, and maybe even in Europe, that's allowing headbutts, right? Well, actually, they did have Lethway, so possibly. I don't see nothing wrong, but it's not. I don't think many people are going to be, raising their hand to fight Lethway. To be honest with you, what is it? Fair and Lethway is an awesome idea. Assassin. Let's see. It's time to see Loman versus somebody. Yeah, I think I saw on Stephen Loman's Facebook, or was it Team Lakai's Facebook, that Steve Loman has signed a fight, right? That he signed a contract for a fight. So I think he's probably been matched up against. To be honest with you, I think he's been matched up against Fabricio. Because if you go onto Fabricio's Instagram, he's training pretty hard, and then Stephen Loman has signed a contract for a fight. So it kind of makes sense, right? Maybe they're fighting July 15th. They just haven't announced it, or maybe they're going to put it on the August card. Let me see the August card. When's the August card? The August card is, one fight night, 13, August 5th. So maybe August 5th, they might fight. That's a solid fight. Loman versus Fabricio. I think Loman came in, he got the wins that he needed. And what's his record right now in one championship? Oh, he's 3-0, man. Like, he beat Bibiano, former champ. He knocked out Sadulayev, and then he beat Sato. I think that's pretty good resume to justify a title fight. I think that's what they're working on. This is just me speculating, but and thinking out loud. But I think that's what's gonna happen. Let's see. Yeah, it's a great fight. Sepiolot, man, where you been, man? Damn, I haven't seen you in a long time. JK, did you ever end up fighting? No, I actually, after about like 5 months of training, I started to have before that I was having like nerve problems, and then it would take me out of training for like a couple of days, and then I'll go back and I would get like physical therapy and stuff like that. And then it got to a point where it was just like I couldn't train. It was just the pain was just too much, and it was like neck issues. So I came back to Korea, and the doctor was telling me that I had spinal stenosis, which the doctor said, like, you need to stop training and get treatment. If you continue training, you're going to end up messing up your neck really bad, and then what's going to happen is you're going to have to get surgery on your neck. And I was like, man, I already had surgery on my lower back, which is spinal surgery. And I don't want to have spinal surgery again because that's just too risky. So I just, stopped training and just got treatment. And then like a couple months back, I started to do striking again, no grappling, because that's where all the neck problems came from, was grappling. And so I'm back into it. I haven't trained in a couple weeks now because of my leg and the burns that I got. But once the burns heal, which will be in probably like a couple of weeks, I'll go back to striking and try to get a fight somewhere. That's what I'm hoping for. So there you go. Update real quick. Silent Assassin, hard to imagine Andrade losing anytime soon. Yeah, he's an animal. He looks so good against Lineker both fights. That's definitely true. Anonymous says, when are you flying to Bangkok? So I'll probably be in Bangkok from Tuesday next week. Tuesday to Saturday. Something like that. Tuesday to Saturday? Yeah. Tuesday to Sunday? Something like that. Yeah. So Anonymous, if you're there, you'll see us walking around. We just don't know who you are, but don't try to kill me. All right. Any more questions? I'm gonna try to get out of here in the next 4 minutes. So just put your questions in. I'll answer the questions to the best of my abilities. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. What is it? Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys go to the Instagram and follow us on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Korean John right there _ Anonymous, what'd you say? I'm flying from Seoul to Bangkok on Tuesday. You live in Korea? Or you coming from somewhere else and you're like taking, you stopping by Seoul? That's crazy. Anyways, any questions, anything, like I said, hit that subscribe, hit that like, follow us right there at SCMP Martial Arts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Get all the updates. We're going to be putting up a little bit more content on social media, a little bit more different style of content. Just look out for that. This is a kind of a new era for SCMP Martial Arts moving forward. And that's what we'll be doing. So Anonymous, you're visiting family. That's great, man. It's always good to be visiting family. Family S says, Dave Leduc needs to really prove himself and fight someone in his weight class in ONE or BKFC. Well, Dave Leduc, is he even fighting anymore? Like after, I don't know what happened, man. Like he just kind of disappeared. I haven't really been following Dave Leduc too much. But I remember, Dave Leduc back in the day, meeting him years ago when he was actually training at Tiger. And this was like right before he blew up into like who he is right now with Lethway. And yeah, man, he's an animal, man. He's Lethway. Like you got to respect anybody that does that. Andrade only throws jabs. That's all he knows. Well, Andrade throws jabs, but then whatever he puts behind those jabs is monster shots. He was banned from Myanmar apparently. Yeah, he's gone through some issues with a couple of countries. I think he's also not really welcome in Thailand as well for comments he's made about Muay Thai. You can't be you can't be talking trash on Muay Thai and then expect for people to welcome you with open arms in Thailand. You know what I mean? That's the like the identity of the country. You know what I mean? The country is known for Muay Thai more than anything. But you know, maybe they'll mend those fences, and you know, rebuild those bridges, and maybe we'll see him back in Southeast Asia sometime soon. Yeah, man. He's done some things. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. We'll be back next week on Wednesday night in Asia, which is Tuesday evening in North America, and also as Tuesday evening in Europe. But we'll be back, and we'll be back actually from Bangkok, and me and Nick will be sitting in the same room doing the live podcast. So join us then around the same time next week. I'll see you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff. Yes, thank you guys so much, and peace out, and take care. Be healthy.